Hello, wherever you're tuning in from, this is the Investors Corner, where we explore hidden treasures. In this episode today, we are out of Juba City, somewhere in the farm, and we are here to talk about investment in agriculture, and our guest will be somebody that is not new to the public life of South Sudan, a retired general. General, thank you very much for...
You are welcome.
Thank you.
How are you?
Thank you very much.
You are welcome to Freedom Farm.
Thank you very
Yes.
much. Yes. Well, today we are just here to talk about investment in agriculture, and we are hoping that your team will be happy to show us around and tell us about the Freedom Farm and what kind of a produce you're producing.
Okay, yes. That is good.
Yes.
You are welcome. And here is Daniel, the operational manager of the Freedom Farm.
Okay.
So he will be the one showing you around, and anytime you have any question, I will be available.
As we will move around with Mr. Daniel to show us around, and then we'll come to conclude with you in your office.
Okay.
In the meantime,
please.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
you're
you.
welcome.
See you around.
Welcome.
Daniel, I think he will show us around about the Freedom Farm. You see what is there. Let's go. Yes, thanks once again, and as I mentioned earlier, now we are in one of the farm owned by Freedom Farms, and we are here with one of the managers, Daniel Mabeng, who will be telling us about this farm, the type of crops they have here, and just about anything else that you need to know. And Daniel, thank you very much for giving your time and coming to explain to us. Maybe we can begin by you telling us about this farm that is right behind us. What type of crops do you plant, and how many of them varieties?
Thank you, Stephen, with your team. I'm honored by your presence. Today you are in Freedom Farms, and Freedom Farm is one of the farm owned by South Sudanese. Our main type of crops here, we have about 5 different varieties. Our main crop of this season are about 5. We have maize, we have rice, we have sorghum, we have soybean, and then later on we are going to plant mung beans. These are the main type of crops that we plant seasonally.
Yes, and looks like in terms of a season, which season are we in now? Because we are seeing the farm is still plain. Is it the clearing of the farms and planting has not yet started? Tell us about the season.
We are depending on the rainfalls, and all the preparations are already done. What we are waiting for now is to allow the wheat to come up. Then later on we spray all the wheat, and then we start planting.
We can see also just about behind you there is something that looks like a dam. Is it a dam, first of all, and what do you use it for? Maybe if my cameraman can also just help to show us as you explain what is just right on your left.
Yeah, that is the dam, and we have just closed it with the weir, and it is only meant for the second season, when we harvested the first crop, and then we go for second cropping, and that's why for us to allow or to waste water, well, lease has to capture that water, and then we'll be able to use it for irrigation. Already we have irrigation pipe that are already installed.
Do you use any form of fertilizers, or what exactly do you rely on to ensure that there is a high yield of crops?
Of course, the first thing that we did was to survey the field, and then we looked at the soil sample. The soil sample were taken to be analyzed in Kenya.
And also, maybe before you can tell us about the tools, maybe you can also tell us if you have some of them here, like the agricultural implements, the tractors that you are using, if you can be able to show us and explain why they're here.
Thank you, Stephen. As I put it before, this mechanized farming, you have even seen we are on large scale. We are not on a small scale. And large scale always goes with the largest equipment and the biggest equipment. We have different type of horsepower tractors that we have. Starting from 55 horsepower up to 650 horsepower.
Will we be able to see them?
Yeah, you will be able to see them later on, and I will be able to give an explanation of each implement and each tractor.
Maybe to make our viewer understand more, if we can walk to where they are so that you can explain them as we are seeing. Is it possible?
Correct. I will be able.
So maybe we can go and see where they are.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Daniel, we are here next to the tractors and some agricultural implements. Can you also briefly tell us about how this equipment are used for empowering the farm?
Yeah, thank you, Stephen. As we discussed before, these are our main tractors and the equipment. And without tractors and equipment, you will not be able to do anything in the farm. They do a lot. We use them for a lot of activities. And let me begin first with the light implements, and then we go to the heavy implement.
Okay.
Yeah, and let me take you through.
Okay.
If you look at these Belarus tractors, these are light equipment with the light implements. And basically we use them for the preparation of the fields.
Okay.
But mostly when we are planting the rice, we use them. They are being serviced, and we are waiting for the weed to come out at the field. After we spray, they will come and
so you also
do the disking.
You also do the servicing and maintenance of this equipment locally here?
Every year, yeah. And we normally does it here in our yard, because already so we have our mechanics.
So you are telling us this is a Belarus tractor, and this is the,
these are the implements
for clearing the farm.
Yeah.
And what do we have just around here?
Yeah, these are combined harvesters.
Yes.
Yeah. The capacity is 1 ton. Yeah.
What is the purpose of
and
this?
The purpose of this one, you use it to harvest rice. It's a rice harvester. And we have even find out that you can also harvest sorghum with it.
Okay. Because you mentioned earlier that you guys plant sorghum, maize,
rice and soybean.
And soybean.
Yeah, but possibly you use this one for harvesting rice, soybean and sorghum at the same time.
We are seeing there are many of them around. What are these?
This one is one of our tractor, and this is the header. Is for harvesting the simsim.
Okay.
Yeah, and we also use it also to harvest the forage sorghum to our animals.
Okay.
Because when we plant is when you have to go in with it, so that you harvest the forage crops to the animal.
And
we have some of the spare parts here.
These are the spare parts.
Yeah.
And we are seeing a huge tractor just right in front of us. What is this used for, and then the implement that it has right behind it?
This tractor is one of the biggest tractor, and we are even using it at the very small areas. We're supposed to use it when you have over 2,000 or 3,000 hectares.
Okay.
You see? But now we are just using it only on the area of 1,500 hectares.
So you
the main purpose of this tractor is used for leveling of the field. It's also used for planting. It's also used for leveling of the field. You can even use it also to build the dam with it. You can even use also to build the road with it. It has got a special implement, and I will go and show it to you later.
And it has, of course, more horsepower.
Yeah, and it is 560 horsepower. It's the biggest horsepower.
We are seeing it also have some implements here.
Yeah. This is the heavy disc harrow. This is the largest big harrow that we have here. And for this equipment to pull it is too light for it. That's why you have seen we have added some load or some weight, so that to keep it down, not to flatten on the surface.
So this is for plowing?
Yeah, this is for plowing of the field. Yeah. This is 75 horsepower.
Okay.
And this is what we call a spreader machine.
Okay.
This is one of the main implements that we are using here.
Okay.
It is used for spreading the fertilizers to the field.
Okay.
And you do some different set. It has a manual, and it depends with the size of the field and the density of the seed that you want to put in the crops. Like when we are planting the rice, you put about 80 kilogram to 85 kilos of, kilos of rice seed, patty rice.
And which which time of the harvest or of planting do you use fertilizer? Is it during the clearing of the ground like now? Or?
No, like at the moment when we start planting, yeah, you must for the rice. We don't have a special planter for the rice, but we are just using a spreader.
Okay.
What we normally do, the procedures that we begin with is to select the field, go and spray the wheat first. After 2 days, you go in with the light these arrows at ½ inch or 1 inch, and then later on you come and spray it. We have this planter. It is Aero's planter, and it is vacuum planter. Yeah, to work with the hydraulic and the fresher.
Okay.
It is hooked behind 180 horsepower tractor. It is on the other side.
Smaller than this.
Smaller than this one because this one cannot hook it.
Okay.
And it has got 4 main buckets, and these buckets are used. These are the buckets where you put the fertilizers, planting fertilizers, and then behind here we remove the bucket because it is still under the service.
Okay.
We have got 8 buckets here where you put the seed.
Okay.
And you also do the setting.
So you put the fertilizer before the seed?
Yeah, the fertilizers are there. When you are planting with this one, the fertilizers drops and then the seed come and then it covered.
Okay. We are seeing also that you guys have some heavy trucks. Are they part of the implements, or what exactly is the purpose of the trucks for them?
Yeah, the heavy trucks fall under crop production, and this truck, we are using them for a lot of activities. First of all, we use them to transport the transportation of the produce to the market. We use them also to collect the produce from the field, because when we are harvesting, you have to send the truck to the field so that whatever harvested by the combine, you need to tip it in.
Okay.
And then when it is full, you drive the truck to the warehouse where you would be able to tip it.
Okay.
So this truck, they fall under they fall under construction. At the same time, we engage them also in crop farming.
Crop farming. So after harvesting, you use them.
Yeah, we use this to transport the produce. Yeah.
From the farm to the processing area.
To the processing area. And when we also want to do some deliveries to the market, we use them at the same time.
Okay.
One also want to deliver some of the produce to the client, or the customers also may request for them.
And we are also seeing that you have equipment that looks like construction of road equipment, like there are some bulldozers here, there are some other road construction equipment. What are they used for in the farm?
You know, in farming you need to have all the necessary tools or necessary equipment that will help you to ease your work. Previously we were having a lot of issues when we start planting or when we start bush clearing. We were hiring the equipment from different companies, and it was too costly for us. If we would have been started in the first place, I think we would not invest a lot on the bush clearing, because this equipment, they help a lot. We use them for the bush clearing of the farm when we do an expansion, and we also use for the road maintenance of the farm. The roads that are coming in, creating the channel, and when you want also to expand your dam for irrigation, we use them.
Okay, so two applies to the compactors that we are seeing.
Yeah, we have two.
And the graders.
Yeah, we have 2 wheel loaders. We have 2 excavators outside there, and then we have 1 grader.
1 grader.
And then we have 1 roller.
1 roller.
Yeah, and that machine, the one in the middle, is a combined harvester.
Okay.
Yeah.
And some things here that looks like tankers or tanks. Are they used for storing fuel? Or
yeah, this is the fuel. This is used for the fuel storage for the farm, and you cannot operate when you have not secured the fuel.
Okay.
So we have got these 2 tanks, and we refill them, and whenever we want to take fuel, we have to send the operators here to fill from here and then go to the field.
So
this is what we call leather bucket.
Okay.
It is the ace mover, and it's one of the implement. It's very expensive, and it is too costly also when we use it at the field.
Okay.
It has, it works with the GPS.
Okay.
It is pulled by the other tractor,
The heavy
heavy one.
Okay.
Yeah, this one you use to build the road with it.
Okay.
You use to level the farm with it, and you also use to build the dam with it.
Okay.
Yeah, it carries the soil, and then you put it. If you want to carry the soil, you carry the soil, and it has got some reapers that are also used.
So this is one of the biggest
this is implement, that
and they are being pulled by heavy machines.
By heavy machine. Maybe the farm trailers.
Yeah,
I have not shown you the farm trailers. These farm trailers are very important in the farm. You normally use them for transportation because when we start it now, we have to transport the fertilizers to the feed. We use them to take the seed, the feed, and then we use also to carry the fertilizer, the chemicals.
Okay.
Yeah, you just load the chemical in and then you take them to the field.
And they are
being pulled also by the tractors. Are being pulled by small tractors.
Okay.
We have other tractor that we place the water tanks on it so that it moves behind the sprayer. Yeah, when the sprayer is empty, we would be able to fill it from the field rather than allowing it to come back the field, so that to save time.
And the what you use for spraying here, which chemicals or which products do you use to spray the farm with?
The agrochemical that we are using here basically are used for insecticide, and most of them are used for the control of the weed.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
So stay tuned. We are going to see the other part of this farm, which is the piggery. Stay tuned. Welcome back. You're still watching the Investors Corner with me, Tech Steven, and we are here in Freedom Farm, one of the biggest farms in the country, and we are here with my friend Daniel, who is showing me around this farm. And here now we are standing at a farrowing house where we are about to see the piggery and how this section is used by this farm. Mr. Daniel, if you could be kind enough also to show us this facility that you have here.
Okay, thank you, Stephen. This is one of the main production unit. It's called farrowing house. In another word, farrowing house is like a maternal ward.
Okay.
This is where the pregnant, the one are due to farrow, brought in here for deliveries.
The pigs.
So yeah, the pigs.
Okay.
So what we have here, these are the mothers and the babies, the lactating mothers.
Okay.
And then also we have the pregnant one that are almost approaching the labor.
Okay.
Yeah, this is what we call farrowing house.
So if they are not aggressive, I believe we can see them.
Yeah, they are not aggressive.
Yeah.
They are confined, and I want to give you some principles that we use here.
Okay.
Yeah, we have disinfectant,
Okay.
whereby you need to come first. You dip
Your feet.
in in order to avoid contamination, bacterial contamination to the animals.
Okay.
Then when we enter in there, you are not allowed to touch the animal or to touch the wall.
Okay.
Yeah, because we have not disinfected you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So
let's see it briefly.
I think you can come in.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. In this house, we have 20 pens,
Okay.
and the size of the pen is 3 meters by 2.5 meters.
Okay.
And each pen, you have a feeding troughs, and then you have a water troughs.
Okay.
And those water troughs, we have installed water nipple system for them. That water nipple system it works with the pressure, and we have 10,000 elevated water tanks that work with the gravity, and the animal drink by themselves.
Okay.
Yeah, it works with the sensor. And each pen, you place 1 pig or 2 pigs in each pen.
Okay.
Like this one, we have the pregnant one.
So which breed are these types of pigs?
We have light white breed, and we have a hybrid, and then we have the local one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So These are not, indigenous types of.
These are
breed
not
that we have.
these are not indigenous type of
Do you
breed.
have any indigenous type of breed? that
The
you have?
indigenous that we have here are the one that were crossbreed with the exotic one,
Okay.
and become now 3 to 4th generation that we're still having here.
Okay,
They have changed totally from.
And for the economic purpose of this facility, the pigs, what do you use them for? We understand you can use it for the meat that can be processed. Do you process them here, or how do you go about the meat?
Yeah, we process them here. We have our slaughterhouse where we have different type of cuts, and mostly we supply to the local outlet. Yeah, but the processing depends on the order
Okay.
of the customer.
Okay.
Yeah,
So based on the customer's request,
yeah.
is what you deliver.
This is what we delivered.
So on an average,
Liter size.
how many piglets do they lay, or do they give birth to?
Yeah, the average litter size is 14 to 12.
14 to 12.
The piglet
Per one pig.
per one pig, sir.
Okay.
And they have to farrow twice a year.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. These are winners. We win them recently, and be careful. Huh?
And this looks like a different breed also.
Yeah, this is our main breeding board.
Okay.
Yeah, they are kept separately. You don't mix them with the female.
Okay.
But for you to bring them closer to on heat, you have to keep the female closer to the male so that the odor or the smell of the male attracts the female,
Okay,
and
for
then it would be able to be served.
Okay.
And services are being monitored here by the breeder attendant. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Welcome to winners and growers section. Is one of the most facilities also, and they are a bit separated from the other unit due to the stress, because when you remove the winners from the mothers, they are supposed to have a distance of 100 or 150 meters away from the mothers, so that they should not have that habit.
Okay.
This is the winner section, and these are about 5. They are going to 5 to 6 weeks.
5 to 6 weeks.
Yeah, all, and they are being weaned from different mothers.
Okay.
And the purpose of this one, you keep them here for 18 to 20 weeks before you ship them to the winners, to the growers section.
Okay.
And this is where we select our gill for the future mothers.
Okay.
But most of them now are kept for meat.
Okay.
Because if you look at our facilities are not enough, so that to have more breeding sows.
Okay.
Yeah, so breeding program is also controlled. Otherwise, they will be out of hand and will not be able to feed them all or to control them,
Okay.
because there is a minimum capacity that required to be in a pen. Like this one, it is supposed only to have only 30 pigs.
Okay.
Yeah. These are growers. They are at 4 months. They are going to 5 months. When they reach 5 months, then we send them to the finishes unit,
Okay.
and they will be ready to be slaughtered.
Okay.
Yeah. The other unit also is also the growers unit.
Okay.
Yeah. This is one of the facilities that we are using for formulating our feed.
Yes.
Because the space is big, and we bring all the carbohydrate and protein supplements and premixed vitamin, and this is where we carry out our ratio formulation. Like the current ration that you have seen here, it is a ready feed mix, and these are 2 different ratios. One is for the weaners and lactating mothers, and then the other one is for growers and and then I think the finishers ratio has already been delivered. This is one of the most important things in farming. When you feed your animal with a well-balanced nutritional diet, you would be able to expect the quality and the growth performance of your animal will encourage you to do the business. Because if you don't feed your animal properly, then later on you will end up wasting a lot of money, and then you will not be able to cover the cost. So this is the main and important unit where the excellent productions come out from this unit.
As we continue on this special edition of the Investors Corner in the farm, we are here again with Mr. Daniel in what seems to be a vegetable farm. Can you briefly also tell us about where we're standing and the type of vegetables that you have here?
Okay, thank you, Stephen. This is the farm garden, and the total size or the total area is 6.6 acres of land. And as you have seen behind me here, we have three different types of vegetables, or four. There were five even. We have green peppers, and then we have okra, we have sukuma wiki, we have eggplant, we have tomatoes, and then we also have onions. Yeah, this is one of the main vegetable garden, especially to our farm workers. Everything that comes out here goes back to the kitchen.
Okay. So that's good. Maybe we can also try to see other part of the farm that you have so far.
I think let's move around.
Okay.
You take some green vegetables here. Maybe I take you to the other side.
Okay.
Of the pigs, of the goats.
This is also another facility within this farm that is dealing with the goats, and Mr. Daniel is here with me also to tell us about how this facility operates. Can you tell us also about this facility?
Yeah, this is our main goat production unit, and we have two facilities, and these facilities are built to meet the standard and welfare of the animals. We have different types of local breeds. These are all local, but we have introduced them recently to the exotic boar, and then later on we'll be able to pick the offspring from the exotic one, and then we replicate so that we set up the proper breeding system. The growers are here, and the one that has been weaned. These are most of the female. As I told you about the boars that we have brought from, this is the main breeding boar.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a South African breed.
Okay.
And there are two.
And it is not having any issue crossbreeding with the local one.
Yeah, that's why we brought it here.
Okay.
To service all these the local breed,
Okay.
and then later on we'll pick from the offspring, the newborn from the father, and then we replicate them with the selected young one.
Okay. There are plenty of investment opportunities in this world's youngest nation of South Sudan. To better understand the economy and explore the thriving market of this country, you ought to get out of your comfort zone. You either hustle under the scorching sun in Konyo Konyo market, run errands at a small or medium business enterprise, or better yet, chair a conglomerate board meeting at a high-end tower in Juba. While awaiting an official business trip to the region. Whatever you do, Just don't rest. Work hard, think big, and be smart in order to count all your economic blessings through this weekly business show of the Investor's Corner, exploring hidden treasures. Join us every week at this time. Welcome back. You are watching the Investor's Corner, where we explore hidden treasures. As you have seen before the break, we have been moving around this Freedom Farm, where we've seen a number of things, from crop plantation to the vegetable to the pig farming and different livestock. And here joining me is none other than the owner of this farm, that is a retired general, former general, we say, General Pieng Deng Kuol, who owns this facility, and we are here now to ask him a few questions regarding this farm and what inspired him to do this kind of a business. General, thank you very much, first of all, for giving us your time.
You're welcome.
We have seen the farm, we've moved to different places within the farm. So before I go into details of what you do here, I would like to first ask you, since you retired from the military service and the army and the police and all that, you've chosen this as your retirement career. What exactly inspired you to do this kind of a business? You could have done any other thing.
I think when we go for a struggle, the time was for that. But after the independence, I thought that I have another duty to do to the country. And I have chosen really to go for farming, and especially mid-industry, because I have seen that there is a lot of wealth that we have, but we are not making use of. And this is why I started with piggery, because piggery, I thought that it was one of the fastest business that you can do. And then I found out that because I was getting everything from Uganda and feeding for pigs and for goats, so I thought that we have to go for crop. So mainly the crop production, it was meant for feeding the animals. And my plan is to have all sort of meat industry, piggery, goats, even beef and poultry. These are all, and even bee production also.
Yes.
I'm planning for it.
Yes, your staff have been generous enough to show us around the farm and show us the different types of activities that you have here. But maybe to shed more light on these activities, we understand that piggery is one of the biggest field that you have invested in here, but also we've seen farming, different crops that you are farming in. How is the response of the market towards the crops that you are planting here? And also, if you can tell us the details of the crops that you are farming. We understand there is sorghum, maize, and the other. How is the market in South Sudan receiving the produce that you are planting here?
In fact, the market is so huge. Only what we have not got the market nationally or locally is only soya beans that our people are not adopted to it, and they don't know how to eat it or how to make it. So it is the only crop that we are growing, which we are exporting to Uganda. But the rest has very huge market, like sorghum. Sorghum is needed in all our areas, and for sure, even we used to send sorghum to Lakes State and other states. And also we have this rice. Rice is also needed here locally. Okay. And we have not taken it to anywhere, only Juba market we are supplying.
Tell us about the piggery, which is the most thriving aspect of your farming here. How far do you reach with the market for piggery? Is it only, in Juba city, or do you extend to the states or even beyond the border?
No, only Juba.
Okay.
Juba that we are supplying, but we are having a lot of challenges because of the power. You know, In 2011, we were supplying most of hotels in Juba here, but we got a challenge of that hotels, they are looking for certain cuts of the pork, and these have been giving us a lot of challenge, because first of all, if they ask for ribs, definitely maybe one hotel may ask for 50 kilograms, and these 50 kilograms may need more than 5 animals to be slaughtered. So now you will have a challenge of what to do with the rest of the meat.
Yes.
You need to put it in freezer where it can freeze, and then you sell it.
And did you plan on also investing on the processing of this meat, so that in case your customers ask for a specified cut like you mentioned, you can also process the remaining meat into different other things that can be still used in the market?
Yes, that is true. It's in my plan. But the problem needs resources, and this is why we have to leave it for some time till it generates more revenue. Then we can get those small machines for processing,
Yes.
like even sausage and other things.
Yes, we've also seen that within your farm there is other livestock like goat, but we have not seen cattle, which is one of the most, if not the biggest, one of the most present in abundance in the country. That is the cattle. Why is your farm neglecting or not investing in that field?
In fact, I was having cattle here, but you know, as it was ordered that we don't need cattle here, and you have to take cattle to wherever you came from and all this. But mine was something for commercial, and definitely it was not going to any other farms. I was keeping them here, and when we finished with harvesting of the crops, then we take them. Even now, Mundari cattle, they use my farm here, and they benefit from my farm. But now I'm looking for another varieties or another breed.
Yes, tell us, because most complaints that we hear from the market is that the breed that we have in South Sudan is not good for the market, because first of all, it's not good for the meat and it does not produce enough milk. What are the plans now, maybe to crossbreed them with other cattle that we have around the world that can, support the market?
But I don't agree with people who say that our cattle are not good with meat. They are good for meat, but they are not good for milk only. And this is our plan now. We want to bring some breed from outside
for the milk purpose.
For the milk purpose.
Not for the meat.
But for the meat, we just need feed to fattening the cattle. Okay. Only that we are going to do with these crops we have. We are planning to have a slaughterhouse, biggest slaughterhouse, and if we purchase it, then we can now be bringing cattle for fattening. We fat them. We make fattening here in this farm.
And tell us about the poultry also that you are having within your farm. How is it operating, and how is the reception of the customers towards buying or purchasing these products?
In fact, poultry have a lot of market here, and definitely you see. Okay, definitely we get a lot of market, but the problem, poultry needs a lot of care, and this is why 4 years ago we started with poultry, but we lost many of the birds here. But this year we started it, and we found it successful. In terms of meat, we are just selling it for meat. But also we are planning for laying eggs.
Yes.
And that is what we are now planning to have.
Yes, and in this program, what we intend usually is to encourage investment and to give advices to local entrepreneurs who want to venture into business and support the country's economy. And from somebody who has been in the business and understand, because what you're doing is no longer small scale, it's a large scale. What would be your advice or encouragement to smallholder farmers and those who are doing a small business, but it still needs a proper advice or a hand from people who have experience like yourself to grow their business and also support the general economy?
In fact, for me, definitely for a scale like mine, it's not an easy thing. It needs a lot of input. And my first advice is to the government and to the banking system in the country, because it is unfortunate that there is no support from the government, first of all. Secondly, there is no any benefit that we are getting from the banks. Now there is no loan, and when we try to lend, the interest rate is so high, and the period also very short. And this is why it is not easy, really, to advise other farmers that you go into this wide-scale production. But for sure, I can have an advice for this small, because if you go to Uganda now, you don't get even big farms like this, very few. But you get every individual have something to produce and something to have surplus even. And this is how they now they supply the market with this small. For us, if we do it, and at least like me now, I have seen like poultry. It's a very simple thing for every family to have very few chicks or few birds, chickens. And you can produce a lot and you can take it to the market. Only that we can, big farms like ours, we can provide market. And if we can buy from the farmers, small farmers, you sell small chicks, you come and take care of it, you take it to the market, that will be good. The same thing with goats. Like me, when I was in the army, I used to advise my soldiers that every month, especially when we got salary, that time it was better, not like now. They were getting salary monthly. So I used to tell them that every month you can buy a small chick and put it just only for this free grazing. It cannot cost you anything, but it can produce more chicks. The same thing if you can plan for a soldier to have a goat every year. That one can even help them. And with this vegetable, with this small, even 1 hectare, like 2 fadan or 3 fadan, every individual farmer can do it. It can feed you and it can also give you surplus so that you can buy other things.
And General, because of the time factor, let's wind up the program by allowing you to give your final remarks to encourage investment and to also to our viewers who will be following to understand the importance of what you're doing here, not only for yourself but for the country, as we wind up.
In fact, my advice is that, in 70s when we were in school, we had that the government of Southern Sudan, that time, Hukum al-Iqlimi, the regional government, made this Saturday as a day for every official to go and cultivate. So why not adopting this now? At least during rainy season, everyone have to do something, farming, whether in your house, whether outside your house. And we really take it as a challenge, because after all, you get every year, you get June and July in most of South Sudan, area is months of hunger. Why not really try to address this for every family? Live to make production for surplus or for the market, but at least for your self-reliance, you can do it. So what I have to say is that, agriculture is the only thing that can help and is the quickest investment that everybody can do. Yes, for big investment may not be possible for everybody, but at least you can even try to make your small investment and try to develop your farm, or even let us also ask the government and especially the assembly that it should give priority for agriculture sector development, because this is the only, and when I talk of agriculture sector, I include animal production, because these are part of agriculture. And I think that is very important for our leadership really to give priority to agriculture development. I know leaders are serious. Most of them, they have farms, but that is not enough. Let us allocate real resources for agriculture development, because agriculture is a very long-term investment, and you don't expect people really to go for it because need patience. And this is the advice also I have to tell our people, that you have to be patient so that you can succeed in agriculture. And that is the most important thing. Even in your small compound, if you have vegetable and you grow some vegetable, if you don't have patience, you are going to lose that vegetable in your compound. So patience is very important also.
Thank you very much, General Pieng, Deng, Kuol, for giving us your time and showing us around your farm and what you are doing. Thank you very much, and we look forward to maybe having you in the near future to see the yield of the farm that you are doing. But in the meantime,
you are welcome.
Thank you.
You are welcome.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
And this has been our show for today with General Deng, Pieng Deng Kuol, the former general in the police and in the army, who was retired to embark on this agriculture. And I've been your host, Stephen Wood, wishing you a very good time. Goodbye.